Hi guys, Luca here from Sabre Airsoft with a hopefully helpful video. I've had quite a few people ask me to do this, but I've put off doing it because it's a nightmare for me as much as it is for you guys. So this is a video to answer the question of how do I get my hammer spring back into my trigger group, because it is an absolute pain. And some people, whilst installing the VMP2 reset arm that we released, have had troubles getting it all back together. So I thought I'd do this video and actually get around to it and endure the pain that I've just had to do, because I've had to do this 3 or 4 times to make sure that I've got the technique somewhat right. So the worst has happened. Everything's fallen out. What do you do? First off, don't panic. Go and find all the bits. If this spring has gone elsewhere in the room, go find it. Once you do find it, that's when we can start putting things back together. First off, clear the grease off of this. If there's any grease on here at all, get rid of it. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you're able to grip this properly. Secondly, make sure that you've got the paper clip, retainer pin, spring in my case, that you use to keep the hammer spring guide rod in position. Make sure you got it to hand and really quick and easy to access, otherwise you might end up being back to square one trying to hunt down a spring that's flown across the room. The other thing I'd recommend is needle nose pliers. I haven't tried it yet, but we might try it now. Let's try with some forceps as well, because forceps are locking. Just see how good of a grip we can get with these. Not a very good grip because it's just too wide. So no go on the forceps. Needle nose pliers though, these seem to have worked. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab it by the tip here where it normally sits with a hammer, and you're going to hold on to that as tight as you can. Let's see if we can get some better lighting here. Next, inside the trigger housing, there is a 45-degree slant with the slot where it goes through there. I've found the easiest way to do this, whilst holding this with a death grip, is to just place it against where that hole is and just carefully, oh, see it's starting to slip out of this one, so I need a tighter grip. You just need to, at 45, carefully and slowly work it in. If it's not working very well for you, you can try putting it on its rear like this. Although, again, I had some trouble doing it that way. So this might be where I don't talk a lot for a second. Okay, once you've got it through, again, keep that death grip. Slide your thing through the hole at the back, and it's in. Once it's in, don't remove that until you're at the very end. Next, you have the battery arm and knocker arm. The easiest way to do this, and they should be attached like this. If they're not, you'll need to reattach them. Easiest way is to ignore the knocker arm as much as you can, and whilst pressing it up against this side, just wait until you see the hole. Once you do, try and pop the pin for it through. You might not want to cooperate at first. There we go. And then it should, once the pin's going through, want to sit over on this side. There we go. That's the pin in. Once you've got that pin in, you need to attach this spring on this side without taking the pin back out. Seems to be a bit stubborn at the minute. There we go. So we need to get this spring onto this little nub here. Just grab a pair of tweezers. You should be able to just lever it into that little slot. Just like that. There we go. Once that's in, lean your knocker arm against the front there, because next we need to do the reset arm itself. This is still the stock one here, but for the purposes of this video it'll be fine. We're just going to drop that in. Next we're going to do the hammer. With the hammer, what I have found is it's best when it's in the fired position. It's easiest to line up then. So you want it so that this section here is to the right of this, with the hammer spring and guide rod sitting in around that slot. Oh, the reset arm just fell in. So I'll just pull that back out. What I'm actually going to do is also just pull the knocker arm and put it into position through the window at the front. There we go. And get it resting against that reset arm, as that will allow me give me a much easier time when it comes to getting this hammer into position. Now what I'm doing is I'm pushing down against the trigger here and also pushing along so that I can line the holes up. Once you've done that, it's actually not too bad. You'll know you got it right because it will hold like that. Once you've got it in the cocked position, you can remove that from the hammer spring and you are done. Test for function, like that. It is a pain, guys. I know it is. I've done this quite a few times now. But once you've done it a few times, it does become a lot easier. And also you'll need to know how to do that if you want to put in any of the aftermarket triggers. Once you've got past the hammer spring, it's very simple to replace these. It's just that pin there for the hammer spring, and then that pin to pull the that pin for the trigger spring, not the hammer spring, then that pin to remove the trigger, and then there's two small pieces with a tiny spring in between them, which is the hammer, the triggers here, and you need to remove that from the original one and put them onto the new replacement one. And it's as simple as that, guys. That's it for this video. We do have some other things that are coming out for the VMP2. We're currently working on an end pass, and I can give you a sneak preview if I can find them of there they are. We've also developed and are in the process of testing these inserts for the hop-up chamber. These allow you to either use the aftermarket nubs, such as the Quantum nub and other such ones, or we are currently testing our own contact patch for them. As I say, these are still in testing phase, so we're not quite ready to release them yet, but if you do want to get involved in the testing, feel free to join my Discord, where we've got that, and also an NPass prototype, which we're working on. And hopefully we'll have something available soon for you to purchase or print or manufacture in your own way. As you know, guys, I like to enable others to make their own things and save themselves some money in the process. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Catch you on the next one.